What's up, everybody? Greg Helbeck here. Welcome to this week's REI deal breakdown. If you are new to my YouTube channel or if you're watching this on social media, my name is Greg Helbeck. I have bought and sold well over 100 houses, and I've been doing this business, real estate investing, full-time since 2016, believe it or not. Got started in 15, but really didn't start doing deals till 2016. So I've done good amount of business, and my goal is to be helpful on these videos and share real life examples of real estate deals that I've done. So hopefully you can listen to this video or watch this video and get some takeaways from it so it can help you and you can grow your business. So this property I'm going to talk about is an actual project that I'm currently working on right now. The address is 55 Foss Lane in Huguenot, New York, if you want to look it up online. And I'll just give you the backstory on this deal, on how I found the deal and what the plan is with it. Obviously, like I said earlier, this deal is currently in the middle of, we're doing a little rehab on it, but I'll get into that later. So it's in the middle of construction right now. We're about to be done with it, and hopefully we'll have it on the market about a week from the recording of this video, and we can get it sold. So I found the property through text messaging. So my team sent out some text messages to sellers. We're using a software called Launch Control, and we got a response, or they got a response from a gentleman who wanted to sell his property. He was living there for a while. I believe he inherited the property from his parents, and he wanted to relocate and live down by his kids, I believe, down south. And he was willing to sell his property at a discount, and he didn't want to have to list his house on the market, even though he did list it on the market, and it didn't work out. But the main thing with the seller, his main pain point was he wanted certainty. And he didn't want anybody to go inside his property, right? And he said that, I want to know that you're going to be the guy buying my house and you're not going to change your offer. And I also want to know that you don't need to see this house in order to buy it. And I said, actually, I was working on the deal with Brett on my team, so I was helping him negotiate it. And I said, well, I can certainly do that, but I got to find out. Why don't you want me to come inside your house? What is inside your house that you don't want me to see, right? Because maybe they're hiding something that could be a problem. And he said that he had someone in his family just didn't feel comfortable with having anybody inside. They had, I don't want to spill the guy's beans, but people in his family did not feel comfortable having people see the house for personal reasons. So I said, well, that is a little sketchy. There's some risk there. So I'm going to need to see pictures of the property. I'm going to need to make sure that this thing, according to your word, is in decent shape. I'm going to send somebody out to drive the property externally. And I need to send somebody over there to do a septic inspection. I got to test the septic system to make sure that the property doesn't have a failing septic, because if it does, that could cost 30 grand. So he agreed to have me do a septic inspection, and the septic guy actually did not need to go inside the house to do that, so he did that all from the backyard. So we agreed on a price of $150,000 with the septic inspection, got the septic inspection done, went into contract. And the way that I bought the house was I used a hard money loan from a local hard money lender. And I believe they gave me $135,000, I believe. I think the purchase price was $150,000, which we agreed upon with the seller. Lender said they would fund $135,000. So that means that I had to bring $15,000 plus closing costs, which is really about $22,000, to the closing table in order to get the transaction closed. So day of closing, I wired over $22,000, and the hard money lender wired over the other $135,000. Bought the house sight unseen. I've been there now, but up to closing, I never bought after closing, I never even seen the house. I just went over there the other day when I was I'm still in New York, but when I first got back to New York for a little trip, I went over there and checked the project out. So anyway, bought the house and bought it for $150,000. And the game plan currently, and like I said, we're still doing this one, is to put about $8,000 into the house, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then relist the property for $240,000, hopefully sell it for that price, if not higher. Key to properties, too, when you're doing mid-level flips, is you want to list them a little bit lower, and then hopefully you have enough demand to drive up the price so you can have a bidding war and take the best offer possible from a price and a terms perspective. Anyway, so we ended up doing a job where we're actually just getting done with the last part of it, but we went out, we cleaned the entire house out from the inside. There was a lot of shit in the basement. We cleaned the entire outside out of the property. We got rid of a pool. We got rid of a shed. We got rid of a bunch of shit in the yard. The entire house smelled like marijuana, so maybe that's another reason why the guy didn't want me inside the house. So we painted the entire house, got the smell out, got a lot of dust off of in the property. There we got some other stuff cleaned out of the property. We put a new toilet into the property. We put a new appliances into the property. We put a new microwave, which is part of the appliance package. Made the property look pretty nice, even though it was in decent shape. And the last thing we got to do is we got to get the water system working again, which we're working on right now. And then once that water system is working, I'm going to have my buddy Edwin Rodriguez list the property on the MLS, which stands for the Multiple Listing Service, which is what all real estate all real estate agents use to sell their properties. They use a database called the MLS. It's all over the country. It's probably even international at this point. And hopefully we price the property well and we can get multiple offers, bid the price up, and get the best deal in terms of the price and the terms. And if all goes well on this property, if everything goes well, which, there's always bullshit that happens, but in a perfect world, this property should net about $40,000 to $45,000 after paying for the lender interest, the real estate agent fee, the holding costs, the closing costs, the renovation, and all the mini renovation. $8,000 is like nothing, basically. It should net in between $40,000 and $45,000. Hopefully we sell it for more and it can net $45,000 to $50,000. But, that's the goal on this property. And, the overall profitability would be great considering the price point of the area. And I'm looking forward to getting this project on the market. So hopefully you got some value from this deal example, and I'll keep everyone posted on the results of the the house after we list it and hopefully get the deal closed. We can kind of line up what I'm thinking right now in this video to what actually happened in the real world and see if there's not a big difference, hopefully. But some big takeaways just to mention on this video, just for people to take away and use in their businesses. At the right price, assuming the house isn't too funky and you know what you're doing, which means you've done enough business to where this isn't your first deal. If you need to make a deal happen by buying it sight unseen, assuming the house is in good shape via pictures, external walk, and a septic inspection, depending on the systems, that can be a good competitive advantage to get deals over your competitors, because I know a lot of people that just don't do that, which is understandable, but I've done that enough to where it's generally worked out. Knock on wood. There's actually someone working in the property right now. But if you can buy a property sight unseen and it's valuable to the seller and they're not hiding some crazy shit from you, it could be a good way to get deals without having a lot of competition, because a lot of people don't want to do that. Second thing, I forgot to mention actually on this property, this will go right into it. I actually rented the house back to the seller for 2 months. So when we closed, he stayed in the property and he paid me rent for 2 months, paid me $600 a month, which is basically what my payment was. And, or actually, no, it was a little bit less than what the payment was, but it was better than sitting on a property where the guy's not paying rent. And he lived in the property for 2 months and then moved out. So if you can do a rent back, a lot of times sellers really value that if they're living in the house, because they need time and they need the money to move from the closing. So I actually rented this house back to the seller for 2 months, and that helped me win the deal too, because I agreed to let him stay for $600 a month for a couple months. So hopefully those two takeaways were helpful. You can use them in your business. Keep me accountable to posting the results of this deal as it progresses. And like I said, if this is your first time watching, or if you watch a lot, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button if you got value from this, and if you get value from other videos, hit the like button on those videos. If you're watching this on Instagram or Facebook, if you can like this video and share it, it would mean a lot to me. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.